Sometimes trying to be frugal with young children in the house can be really difficult because they're always asking for something. And I'm the no parent. I'll throw "Are you kidding me?" at them in a heartbeat. But even with that, it gets hard because they just want little things sometimes, just like you want little things sometimes. So I have this one huge tip that has made a difference for me when it comes to this issue, and that is to let your kids earn an allowance. I have two preteen children in my home. My son is 10 and my daughter is 11, and there are going to be people who will say that you shouldn't make kids work for just a little extra money from you. And there are people who are going to say that you shouldn't pay kids to do chores. But I'm going to give you 3 reasons why you should let your kids earn an allowance. And the first one is that it allows them to have their own money. And I know that's kind of obvious, but if your kids are always begging you to buy them something that they don't need in any kind of way, then one of the things that an allowance does is it puts the weight of that request back on them. So when they're asking for those fingerboards or that craft kit or whatever toys your kids like to ask for, my favorite line to throw at them is, "Well, how much money do you have?" And sometimes they respond with, "I have to buy it with my own money." And when I say yes, sometimes they change their mind because they know that the thing they're asking for isn't really worth it. This leads me to the second reason that you should let them earn an allowance, which is that the work attached to it increases the value of the money. So when kids have to work for the cash that they have, the value of it goes up that much more. So when they realize that they have to spend their own money on that worthless little piece of junk they just asked you to spend your money on, they also start thinking about how long or how hard they may have to work in order to make that money back if they spend it on something that they don't know for sure they absolutely want. And this also gives you a perfect opportunity to be able to start teaching them about saving and giving and setting financial priorities. And of course, you have to keep it all age appropriate because you don't have to start talking to an 8-year-old about saving for retirement. I mean, unless of course you have that kind of an 8-year-old, which some people do. But when they express a desire for a toy or some little extra something, you can help them kind of mentally map out a little savings plan to be able to buy the thing in the near future. And I do this sometimes, but you can even offer to match their savings if you know it might take too long for them to save up the full amount themselves. And then this last one is my favorite benefit. It's the biggest bonus that comes out of this whole thing. And that is, as a busy mom, often very tired, frugal mama, you get to buy back some of your time by passing off those nasty little chores you don't like to do. And my least favorite chore in the house is doing dishes. So I've assigned that to my daughter to do a few times per week. And then my kids spend so much time in the living room and dining room area. So my son's responsibility is for cleaning those spaces a few times per week. And no, it is not as clean as when I do it, but I'm not a control freak. So guess what? I just enjoy the fact that I can sit and look around and not have to see the mess and know that I also didn't have to do anything to clean it up. So just think of some of those tasks that are age appropriate that your kids can do to help you and figure out how much you think those tasks are worth and how much you can afford to give them on a regular basis. And you can create a chart with various tasks and dollar amounts attached to each task, or you can just write out all the responsibilities and give them one flat amount each week. And personally, I've done both over the years. And I started doing this with them when they were 5 and 6 years old, just helping me fold clothes and towels. Or my daughter, she had her little Hello Kitty broom and she would try to sweep the floor. And I would give them $1 or $2 so that they had something to spend at the Dollar Tree. Of course, when the Dollar Tree was still $1. As they got older, I just increased the responsibilities and the dollar amounts. Ultimately, it has been a great way to begin to teach them frugal living principles, and not just by them watching me, but by them being able to put some of those things into practice for themselves. So I hope that this was a helpful tip for you, and maybe it's something that you thought about doing before, but you just kind of needed a little nudge in that direction. Hopefully this was that for you. Be blessed in the coming week, and I will see you next time. Bye.